Hey, this is Abraham. I had a video idea about 2 or 3 weeks ago when Drake's new album Scorpion came out that I would take some samples that were used on the album and I would put them together to make a new song and make like a if I produced for Scorpion sort of a video. And basically I started to do this and it turned out to be a whole song. I ended up really loving what I was making and it just became this whole other thing that I didn't think it was going to become. So I want to walk through kind of what I did and how I made a whole song out of it and how it started with a video idea and that became inspiration to make this whole other project. So let's just jump right in here. So there's two samples that I took. One was this Lauryn Hill sample that they used for Nice for What. You'll probably hear it and be like, oh yeah, they used that. And then also this drum break that they used for 8 out of 10. So I took those two samples and combined them to make a new song. That was the original idea. So what I started with was the Lauryn Hill sample that they used for Nice for What. And I actually got the bass line and I took it from the sample. So here's what I started with. It's the start of the song. Just that, and I knew I wanted the bass line. This is transposed 2 semitones down. And then, if you can see here, I added all of these effects to just take the bass line, and I just moved it around to make it a completely new bass line. It sounds like this. And if you can tell, it's a lot longer now. Finally, the chord change happens here. And it's not clean at all. These bass notes are very dirty, not like super straightforward of what the note is, especially that second note, but that's what adds a lot of character that you don't get from just adding normal bass to things. So that's what I did for the bass. Then I took the same Lauryn Hill sample. Okay, so you could probably see how that is in Nice for What by Drake. So what I did is I transposed it 2 semitones down, so that gets us here. And then I chopped it up and I added a bunch of effects to it. Then the other big sample that I pulled in was the drum sample that they used from 8 out of 10. I just cut it up so it's a little bit different. They basically used the drum break exactly how it is, but I cut it up a little bit, as you can see here. This is what it sounds like. I'm gonna play just those things soloed, and you can tell that this is already going somewhere with the bass and the Lauryn Hill sample. So I'm just going to quickly kind of run through some of the instruments that I put in just to layer. We have a Rhodes piano that I just messed around on. We have a guitar that I recorded in and put a bunch of effects on again to make it sound old and to make it sound like it was a part of like this sample that I'm kind of creating. There's this piano that I added later that I was actually just at a piano, recorded it on my voice memo, and put it in. I could have used a VST, but I wanted to keep it dirty, and I wanted to keep it just to sound like it was a part of this sample sort of a thing. And it sounds like this. There's like mess ups. You can hear my fingers on the keys. And it adds this layer of authenticity to the whole song. There's an ambient synth out of Omnisphere that I kind of put behind everything. Then also there's a pad that I put a tremolo on, and then extra drums. Just layers, and drum fills, transition noises. So as I'm putting these instruments together, I can't help but to feel like this song is great. Like someone should record on this. Like this should have literally been on Drake's album. And I'm just loving it. And I start thinking about that vocal and what it's saying. You say you care for me, you would die for me. And I got this melody in my head. You know, this melody that kind of sounds like this.
Would you die for me? Would you die for me? You say you care for me, yeah, but would you die for me?
And I got that melody and I was like, oh, well, I'll just make a song then. And then it kind of took off. I wrote 2 verses, I had this whole chorus. I got my friend to play guitar on a little solo section just to keep the vibe going. And this is all because I just wanted to start a video.
Would you die for me?
I don't really even have anything else to say about this song, but just go listen to it. There's going to be a link to my SoundCloud in the description. Yeah, if you have any other questions, I can make another video about it. Let me know. See ya. Oh yeah, and subscribe. Come on.
Would you die for me? Would you die for me?